Every day for 30 days, I'm giving you immigration tips from America to Norway in case you're considering immigration after the most recent presidential election. My name's Kari. I immigrated here from America 2 years ago, having studied Norwegian language and culture since I was a young kid in America. So here are my tips for you. Day 11. Let's talk again about the slow pace of life. You're not going to have the conveniences you had at home here. Now, a lot of y'all, when I said that the slow pace of life here was going to be a big shock, so many people said that's exactly what I want. And I think that can be true for many of you. It is what I wanted too, and I needed the sort of social structure to pressure me into a different way of living, especially in terms of my work ethic. I worked way too much and I was working myself to death. I needed a society that valued working to live, not living to work. I needed that pressure. Our nervous systems, I think, were not evolved to handle the pace that we keep up with in America and many other countries. However, it's almost like a detox. Like, you can say you want this, it's still going to be so different to you, so different from every way you've grown up for most of your life. And even in small towns, I think you would still find some differences compared to Norway. So one really good example of this is that all stores are closed on Sunday. All of them. All of them. If you need, like, in some cities, there's a pharmacy that's open, usually that's open most of the time, but usually those even aren't 24 hours. And those are in bigger cities. Everything is closed Sundays. We ran out of hearing aid batteries on a Sunday, and we just had to deal with it. There wasn't really anything you can do. It doesn't matter the circumstances. The stores are bursting with people. Like, it's like a rave at the grocery store on Saturday night because everybody's got to get what they need to go into Monday. It's sort of a known thing. This is a hyperbole, but it's sort of a known thing that banks are just never open, that they've drastically reduced in-person banking hours. They are open, but it can be hard sometimes to figure out where and when you can get into a banking branch. Mail can take forever. We live in a pretty modernized society where with FaceTime and things, you don't feel that far from your family and friends, even as much as you might have in the 1990s when we were still getting phone cards to call people and paying long distance fees. But a letter or a package or a postcard even from America or to America will take a month minimum, usually more. Those are the moments where you feel the distance and you feel that you're in Norway, which is pretty isolated even compared to the rest of Europe. But a lot of this actually has to do with workers. When we can't get the milk I want randomly on a Sunday night or whatever product, that's because they're not forcing their workers to be in the store at all hours. When the mail takes a bit longer, it's because they're very careful at looking through it in customs and making sure that everything's in the letters are safe. And those employees also aren't working day and night. The bank employees also, a lot of the jobs are remote. They may not have to be in the office all the time. So a lot of the things that are easy to come over here as an American and be annoyed that we can't have what we want right away are actually a broader consideration of the community as a whole and what is good for everyone as a whole. And that sounds good. I know you're going to be in the comments idealizing it. It is good. It is. But you're not used to it. No matter how much you say you're used to it, you're going to get over here and you're going to be annoyed at this lack of conveniences because in America, we think about having the freedom to do kind of whatever we want, and we want all that available to us. In Norway, there's a social structure set up to make life decent for everybody. And some of us, we all have to give a little bit or sacrifice a little bit of convenience so that everybody can have it a little bit better. And that is really good. It is desirable. But if you don't think that will feel like a culture shock to you, then you're not listening to me and you're not thinking this through critically enough, because it is not, even in small town America, how you were raised to think of things. Because particularly in small town America, I know y'all got a 24-hour Walmart, okay? So you don't actually understand how different that will feel. And that difference is not just about convenience, but it's about you being asked to sacrifice what you want in the moment for somebody you might not even know. The dude who's getting a day off from grocery bagging. And that is very un-American. That's a very collectivist ideal that we don't grow up with in America. That will be a real culture shock to you.